Again, this was probably the hardest one that I had to do because I couldn't jive the description with the title. It just didn't work for me. So I did the best that I could, and I came up with a piece. It was basically based on, the first thing that I thought about is something that brings the city to life. Sports always brings the city to life. The biggest event that's happening in Tampa this next year is the Super Bowl. So having come up with that, I thought that everybody else would have came up with it. So I decided to do something that is equally as big as the Super Bowl, which is the celebrity parties that come along with that. So I decided to do a poster for a celebrity event. Of course, I could not put real celebrities on that, so I incorporated my friends, and it's going to be a Club Envy, if that helps me. So,
holding a frying pan in that picture.
It's actually a bottle. It's a bottle of liquor.
Oh.
It's sponsored by Remy Martin, Louis XIII. So that's that bottle.
Okay.
$8,000 bottle of liquor.
Okay, a little different than a frying pan.
Sorry.
It's a big medallion.
It's a big bowl. It's a super bowl.
No, it's a Super Bowl. There we go.
I mean, generally, I'm not. Is that you in the image as well?
That is me.
In the
That's
top
a little
left?
photo manipulation as well.
I mean, I don't know, man. I've never seen you not wearing a suit. So, I think you've displayed some advancement in technical skills throughout the competition. But one thing, I mean, I think compared to where you were last week, I think this is a step down. I don't think you've presented something that really steps out and shows the amount of work that you've been putting into it, the amount of effort you've been putting into a lot of the things. Last week you had the whole photo shoot, you had the whole concept put together, a new magazine, all that.
Right.
This to me is it's an event poster and not that creative of an event to me. I mean, I appreciate that you looked and went into thinking about the fact that sports and choosing that and thinking about what it was to you that was the life of the city. I just don't think it's executed or really that deep of a concept.
I actually did 3 of them, and none of them came together. So this is what I came up with. So it was rough. It was rough. This one was rough.
Interestingly, I didn't even see the word Super Bowl. I didn't even get Super Bowl from this until you actually said Super Bowl, which, I mean, I realize that the words are up there, but it's more of a visual person. Look at things just aesthetically at first. I do think what you said about having the city really coming to life when there's big sporting events here or any city is really true and really interesting. And because when you said that, that's not something that I would have immediately thought of on my own. Like, wow, yeah, that would be a really good way to tackle this concept. But I don't think that this piece really does that as well as it could. I think you had a thought so it's a huge opportunity for you to do something really taking advantage of that. And I don't think this did. I think it just like took it and then took it a different step in a different direction with the celebrity thing that was probably not necessary. Like maybe if you did focus on how a city can really get behind the sports team, might have made it a stronger conceptually stronger piece.
Okay.
I don't want to just only echo what they're saying, but I was really hoping to see something of a really high caliber this week because we've watched you over the last 4 sessions really step it up every single time to a point where I was really expecting this week to be just blown out of my chair here and fall off, knocked out of my chair, and I don't see it. What I see here is more in line with what we saw the very first week when we were evaluating the work to choose the contestants. It's technically polished, but it lacks a solid composition, a sense of inspiration. It's just busy, and it looks believable. This looks like something I would see and I would expect to have handed to me when I'm walking down the street in Ybor, 7th Avenue, but I don't think it's successful at what it's trying to accomplish. So, same thing I said to Carlos, though. It doesn't seem like you may get a lot of votes anyway, and hopefully then you'll have a chance to prove yourself in 2 weeks. So.
That's, I have to echo what Charles said about how you continually improved over the competition, which, I mean, I think to that point, the fact that you've been able to use some real networking skills to keep yourself in the competition over the weeks, regardless of how your work was, I think I'm still excited to see what you would come up with for the next challenge.
I want to add one other thing that does count here, and that is you have probably the best presentation skills of any of the contestants. Your work is always impeccably matted and presented. You have a very professional sense to you, not just with how you dress, but how you interact with the host and with the judges. And that should count for something, so I commend you for that.
And as always, best dressed.